hello everyone, I'm here with beautiful Anush. So basically I'm gonna ask him a few questions, and as you guys know, on my channel I've been giving a lot of my point of view, and I think it's good to have a broader point of view with other people. What do you study and what year are you in?
Alright, so I study, wait for it, I was going to say guess but you already know.
Yeah.
I study law. I know you would never guess that. I'm in my final year. You would never guess that either because I look like a child. I'm well aware. Yeah, so just studying law with European studies because I went to Iceland in a year abroad, and yeah, so that's the European part of that.
Yeah, okay. And where are you from?
Okay, so I was born in India, and which is why the skin color, and then I moved to England when I was 11.
Okay.
And yeah, and then ever since then I was like, oh, traveling. Orgasmic. Can I say orgasmic?
Say
traveling is like it's an experience.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, so like I was like, man, I'm in love. So because of the big culture shift, so then I decided to like go traveling around. I went to Thailand recently, which is the best country ever. If you've ever been to Thailand, or if you've never been to Thailand, go to Thailand. It's like everyone has to experience it. Yeah. So have you been to Thailand?
Ever, never.
Okay, well, typical person, go to Thailand. You know, every time I meet someone who says they've never been to Thailand, this is what I recommend. Like, Thailand, you have to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the most beautiful things about Thailand?
Okay, well, I'm glad you asked. Apart from me, of course, because you know when I go there. No, the most beautiful things about Thailand is Thailand is it's a small country, but it's so like broad in terms of if you're like the type of person who likes fun, like high energy, go to Bangkok. If you're the type of person who appreciates beauty and like nature, you can go to Phuket. Well, not really Phuket, that's touristy, but you can go outside in beaches, and it has everything for everyone. Okay. But the most beautiful aspect about Thailand, apart from that as well, is that the people there are so open. Okay. You know, like everyone is just like, they just don't care. It's kind of like New York but without the bitchiness. So Bangkok is like New York but minus the bitchiness. Everyone's just so open, you can do whatever, and everyone is so fashion conscious, you know? Okay. Like here, and you're from Italy, right? So I think you might also understand me. I think we had a conversation about this the other day. Like here, if you try to be fashionable, people will kind of look at you, which is fine. Like I'm wearing heels right now, look, can you see that? But if you try to be fashionable here, people will kind of see, oh god. But in Thailand and maybe also in Italy, like it's the norm to be fashionable. And I like that. So I can really experiment with any fashion and no one will care. It's cool.
That's perfect. Seems like, okay, definitely convinced me to go.
I hope I convinced you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, it's good. I love traveling. One day I really need to go. And yeah, so you went...
Where have you gone?
I've been to, I stayed in Europe. The most exotic places we've been to was classic Mauritius, like touristy, and you know, all those places. Not really much. Went to New York once. And lots of people, actually, subscribers, have asked me about course content and like law. What's the amount of what do they they expect? If you can go back to your fresher self, thinking about what you were expecting by law and what the reality was actually, what would you say someone who's about to do law?
Alright, well, first I'll start off from a typical law student's perspective, or who wants to do law. If you're the type of person who's watching programs like Suits or some like programs like that, and you want to go into law, no, it's not for you. Like, it is nothing like Suits. You are not Harvey Specter. You won't go in being like, oh, I know everything, blah blah. Like, if you think that, don't. Full stop. I did law because I really had no idea what to do with my life, and I actually wanted to do a degree that was useful. Because law is so it's useful. You know, it's so flexible. You can use legal skills anywhere. So many jobs value it. So that's why I did law. And my God, I'm glad I did it. But my God, it is hard work. So I mean, you probably read some articles being like, you have to do a lot of reading in law. You do. But you also have to listen to the notes, understand the notes, and rewrite the notes. And when it's like revision time, like now, exam time, then like you have to like apply yourself so much. And even when you do, you only get a 2-1. So I mean, it's very rare to get a first in law. So I mean, if you want to do law, if you want to be a lawyer or like a solicitor, a lot of people see, here's the thing, a lot of people they start doing law and they say, I want to be a lawyer, and then after the first year they go, oh, I'm considering maybe not. But it's a great degree to have, because if you have it, then really you can, so many employers value law, and you can go into, it's not specific to a legal career. But having said that, if you're the type who likes to work, then go for it. And also, law is so broad. There's contract law, commercial law, criminal law, blah blah, intellectual property law. You will find an area that you will enjoy. Like I had no interest in law particularly, but ever since studying law, I love contract law, which is quite boring to a lot of people, but I love it. I love intellectual property law. Constitutional criminal law is not my thing, but it can be your thing. So law is broad, it's fun, but you have to acknowledge that it's hard work.
Okay, so you need to be disciplined, I guess.
Disciplined, know your shit.
Yeah.
I can say that.
You can say that.
I don't know what to say. Know your shit, have it all together. Just from the start. Do not, I mean, here's my number one advice. Unless you're super smart, and which I'm sure some of you will be because you're watching Francesca, that's a smart move. Unless you're super smart, if you come to uni doing law, expecting the typical university experience where you go out, drink, blah blah blah, law is not the right subject to do for that, because there will be many times you'll have to sacrifice your social life because you have so much work to do.
Yeah, if you want to do that, just do business. Trust me, that is the degree where you can just go and focus more on your student life than anything else. Talking about student life, how do you find Exeter when it comes to social life? It can be anything, like clubs, people.
Can I be honest? I'll be honest, right?
Of course,
I owe it to your subscribers.
We want authenticity.
I will give you authenticity.
Yeah.
Okay, so Exeter is a small place. It is not a city, although it's technically a city. You shouldn't be a city, but it's a small place. Having said that, for me it's boring. The only reason I came to Exeter is because I looked up Exeter on Google Street View, and instead of coming on open day, and I thought, oh, it looks very modern, it looks great, let's go. And then I came to Exeter, I was like, wow, it's so small. But it's small. Having said that, it is a student city. Like, everything is walkable. There are many clubs, so all clubs you can walk. You don't have to like take a bus or take a train anywhere to like go to a major club. You can, or even an Uber, you can just like walk all around Exeter. It's small, it's a student city, so you won't get to interact with many locals. The thing with being in London, I guess, is that if you're in London or big city like Manchester, London, you can really find what's for you, so you don't have to stick to the same studenty crowd, which is in Exeter, and Exeter is a very posh uni, well, kind of, the attitude here is very like, it's reserved, we're Exeter, we talk like this, and it's very, it's like there's a glass ceiling, I guess, as like a wall, and then and every conversation you have with people here is very like, hey, how are you? It's very cliquey.
Oh yeah, it's very small talk
and superficial, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So I say that. I understand I'm being very negative, but I say that. Like, if you might be the right person, you might enjoy it. But if you want a student experience, Exeter is the city because it's like student place.
If you want a classic campus life, if you want the bubble life where everyone just bumps into each other all the time. I mean, yes, it can be awkward if you had that one night stand with that guy and you really not want to see him ever again. But you will see him if you're next, because it's just like not possible that you don't bump into each other. Yeah,
and don't like if you think that's awkward, don't think so, because it happens so many times, it just becomes the norm. So no one will really care.
Literally, I just bumped into a guy that 2 years ago we were really intensely linked together, and then we
linked, as in linked through body parts, right? Intensely linked.
Intensely, like very emotionally involved also, and for a few until now we've always been like, when we saw each other, very like cat and dog kind of thing, like we didn't like each other. Literally, this last period is the first time when we see each other and we're hugging each other like we're friends. And so I think in that way it can be beneficial for you to actually be in a bubble, because you guys see each other so much that eventually just like, fuck it, it, let's just be friends.
Yeah, and you know, that's the attitude you need to have with
Yeah.
life. So it's
Yeah.
gonna prepare you for that. Like, awkwardness is only awkward if you make it awkward.
So true. Amen to that.
Yeah,
Literally.
preach.
Oh my
Exactly.
God.
You know, just like it's up to you. If you start becoming passive aggressive and bottling everything up inside,
Yeah.
it's gonna really affect your relationship with with those people, with your flatmates or whoever is relevant here. So just have it on. Don't give a fuck about people. You know,
Yeah.
like just be yourself, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, when I first went to uni and I was looking at like YouTubers online, I was looking for tips for students and everything. Every single one finished by be yourself. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean, you know? But I guess it means just, for me at least, being myself means just be true to what you would do if you were on your own with your best friend, and do that with everyone else. Like, if you feel like saying something, say it. If you feel like doing something, do it. And if you feel that there's tension, as you just said, like literally just like go for it.
Yeah. And I had the same thing about the whole be yourself. When I saw people tell me that, I was like, be yourself, like that sounds so simple. But there are so many layers of this saying that people say be yourself. You can be yourself, but also I think the main thing is that, yeah, absolutely, in university environment, go for it. You can be yourself because there's no one to impress, nothing really, blah blah. And if they don't like you, it's their fault. But in professional environments, and everyone has to do this, you have to kind of make a mask. So be yourself doesn't always apply. Like, for example, I would never wear this into an interview, even though I love my fashion sense, but I would have to like adapt because currently society doesn't see that acceptable. So that is a scenario where I can't be myself, and it's all about playing the game. And you play the game by adapting. It's not like you're lying to yourself. You know you are yourself. You play the game until you're in power in a professional circumstance. Until you're in power, then you can be yourself, and then you can set a standard so other people can also follow your lead. But in an environment like this, like student, like I don't fucking want to impress anyone, you know? Like I don't, there's no one who can give me a job here. You know, I'm not in a job interview every single day in this. So I just be myself and I say what I want, and just be true to yourself. Because if you imagine if you live a life in your deathbed and you think, wow, I really wasn't myself, I spent all this time thinking of other people, you would die a sad death. Make sure you live a happy life.
Like literally, guys, if you can just like take a minute to really like sink in what he just said, it's just like preach, especially what you said about the job, like how you have to, like, in a way, work with society's rules and then maybe set an example. That is so golden. I'm gonna let you think about that for a second, and I'm just gonna like cut this part.
I'm trying to put you in the worst mood.